How to apply fake tan.
Hello and welcome to Video Jug. I'm beauty expert Sarah Chapman. I'm going to talk to you about fake tanning. Fake tans, self-tans are a great way to have a gorgeous kind of glowing body, glowing skin without giving yourself the damage of sunbathing. UV damage is one of the biggest ways of causing aging and of course more damage to the skin. But now there are some fantastic ways of getting that glow with fake tan and making it look natural at the same time. You've got different ways of doing it. You can either go for sort of a very salon treatment type fake tan, which is an intensive colour. You look like you've been away for 2 weeks. Or you can go for something which is a more natural looking tan. Now on the market we have products which are body lotions which contain a small percentage of the tanning ingredient. So you can use them every single day just as your natural body moisturiser, and you'll build up a very gradual glowing tan. So it's not necessarily like you've just been away for 2 weeks, but you start to look more and more healthy. Alternatively, you can go for something that's used perhaps in salon treatments, something that's going to give you a really full-on intense dark tan, which is great if you're really just feeling pasty and horrible and you actually just want a transformation because maybe you can't get away for a summer holiday, or maybe you do want to avoid the damaging UV rays. You can do a full procedure and give yourself an amazing glowing tan. And it's without a doubt that if you've got a tan, you definitely feel better in your clothes, you feel better in the way that you look, and it's much easier certainly to wear summer clothes, things like strappy dresses and tops, and keep your legs bare if you've got a little bit of a tan. One of the first steps to prepare yourself for getting that kind of even fake tan is to exfoliate. We get a build-up of dead skin on the knees, on the ankles, on the heels and on the elbows. So those are real trouble spots when it comes to fake tan, because when you put it on they can cling to the dead skin and it looks kind of darker, it can look quite orangey. So the first thing to do is to get a body exfoliator. A lot of them are designed for use with self-tan ranges have them, because they have little spherical beads that don't leave a sort of scratch on the skin. So again, it's the best way of getting your perfect even tan afterwards. So if you just do this at home before you're jumping into the shower, take some of your exfoliator and do this over the whole body, but make sure that you specifically focus on things like the knees. These are the trouble spots, round the ankles, and also the backs of the heels. Because if you really exfoliate these bits well, you're not going to get all that dry skin that it adheres to afterwards. And if you're doing other parts of the body as well, remember that you do the elbows specifically, anywhere that there's dry skin. Once you've worked that into the skin, you just jump into the shower and wash it all off. I'm just going to use some mitts here because it's just easier. Again, just to remove any of the granules, any of the residue that's on the skin. You can do your body exfoliating on damp skin. So once you've jumped into the shower, sort of step aside and then do your exfoliating. Polish the body all over and then remove all of the granules, and then your skin is perfectly smooth and ready for your fake tan. Whenever you're doing a fake tan for yourself, do your exfoliating first of all so that you've got that lovely smooth skin. And then the best thing to do to stop your hands from getting stained is to get some gloves. You can get them from pharmacies and chemists. If you haven't got any gloves, you can do it without, but just make sure that you really give your hands a thorough wash afterwards, because otherwise the palms of your hands are going to be stained with the tan. So I'm going to use the gloves just for the purposes of these demonstrations. We're going to start off and have a look at the body moisturising type of tanner. This is a gradual tanner. You'll find that loads of ranges have got these now, and these are ways to use like a body moisturiser, so you don't need to use gloves with this one. You can actually just wash your hands afterwards. So this is like a body lotion. So if you're used to putting on a body cream or a body lotion, it's exactly the same, but it has got some tan in it. So this is also a great one to use if you've been away on holiday and you want to kind of prolong your tan. If you're used to using, say, an after sun or a cream afterwards just to keep your skin looking really kind of conditioned and to keep the dryness if you have actually been in the sun away, then you can use this as your kind of after sun to prolong the tan. Alternatively, just apply it every day like you would your body moisturiser. Just be careful when you get down towards the feet, because if you do suddenly stop and it starts to tan, then obviously you're going to get marks. So just always just sweep off the feet so that you've actually just blending that out into the toes. Apply it like your body moisturiser. It'll condition, it'll soften, it'll make the skin lovely and moisturised, but it will also give you a little bit of a glow. If you do it just once, you'll just get a nice gentle glow. You can then start to build it up and do it sort of over 3, 4, 5 days and gradually get a deeper tan, so you are totally in control. The other option that we've got is a salon type treatment. Now, if you're to use a salon strength tan, one of the best things to do first of all is to actually moisturise areas that get dry. So with exfoliating, we talked about the knees, we talked about the heels, we talked about the feet, the elbows. So just before you start applying your tan, take a little bit of moisturiser, it can be any body moisturiser that you've got, and just apply a little bit to those dry areas. This is just going to stop again anything from clinging there and becoming noticeable. And I always put some on the soles of the feet as well, so that if you are walking around at home and you tread in anything, you're not going to end up with orange soles of your feet. So again, I'm doing this with gloves on, but if you haven't got gloves, you can do it with bare hands, but just make sure you really wash your hands thoroughly afterwards. Some of the salon tans have got a good colour in them, a colour pigment in them, so that you can see exactly where you're putting it. This is going to help to prevent getting any streaking. If you're really frightened of doing tanning, then go for the option of the moisturiser with just the tan in it. But if you're pretty brave and you've had lots of tans before, go for something like this. You can see exactly where you're putting it. You can see, therefore, if you leave any streaky marks, and if there's a streak, there's no tan. So it's really easy for you to make sure that you get a totally even coverage. Most of these have got to be left on for sort of 4 to 6 hours, and that's going to give you the development of a kind of 2-week holiday tan. Again, you be careful as you go down to the feet that you just graduate it into the feet so that you don't end up with any kind of tide marks, any areas that you can't see. And again, making sure that you've got an even coverage. If you're doing it on yourself at home, make sure as well that you start at the feet, you do the calves and then you do the thighs, because if you do the thighs first, when you bend down to do your calves, it ends up going all over your body. So start down at the feet, work your way up the legs, then do the body, and then do your arms and do your face last. And if you're using a really strong colour, so something like this, when you get to doing the face, mix it with a little bit of face moisturiser, and that will give you a little bit more of a natural finish. Leave this on for sort of 4 to 6 hours. Follow the instructions on your particular tan that you buy, and then you just wash it off in the shower. It looks like it's all disappearing down the drain, but you develop the most amazing golden tan, and you'll look like you've been on holiday for a couple of weeks. A great way to look right the way through the summer.
Done.